trying to figure out which deployment my dad's old submarine story actually happened during. My dad served on submarines back in the day, USS Shark, SSN 591, first, then USS Tautog, SSN 639, and he had this one story he used to tell that always sounded a little too good to be a completely straight account, about his boat spending a whole night quietly wrecking a carrier group's sleep schedule and nobody ever figuring out it was them. He died in 2015, so I can't just call him up and ask, wait, when exactly was this, which means what I've got is a kid's memory of a sea story told at the dinner table, not anything more solid than that. Roughly how he told it, they were in the middle of some other operation when orders came down to break it off and go rendezvous with the carrier group instead. Scrubbing whatever they'd been doing didn't sit well with the skipper, who'd apparently been up for a long stretch just getting the boat there. The way my dad told it, the guy's whole mood came down to one line: if I can't sleep, nobody out there is going to sleep. So that first night on station, instead of sitting quietly, he brought the boat up to periscope depth right at the edge of the fleet's radar coverage, raised a mast just long enough to paint a hard contact, then took her deep below the thermal layer, rigged for ultra-quiet, and just sat there dead silent while the surface fleet lost its mind. General quarters, ASW hello scrambling, active sonar pinging uselessly off the water layers above them. They held their quiet until the fleet finally secured from GQ and everyone climbed back into their racks. Then he'd bring the scope back up and do it again. Repeat all night. Come morning, the boat surfaced and cruised along with the formation like nothing happened, and as far as my dad told it, nobody on those ships ever knew it was the sub right next to them that had been pulling the string all night. I did some casual Googling this week trying to figure out which deployment this could actually be, since the Enterprise was involved and they had to rendezvous with the carrier group were about the only concrete details I had to work with. First I went down a rabbit hole on the 1969 EC-121 shoot-down and Task Force 71, since that's a real, dramatic carrier group scrambles moment involving Enterprise, but the dates don't hold up. Tautog was still doing shakedown trials near Hawaii and Puget Sound in April 69, and Shark was an Atlantic Fleet boat the whole time, Mediterranean and East Coast ops, never the Pacific, so neither one of his boats was anywhere near Korea that year. What actually lines up is 1977. Per Enterprise's own command history, her task group transited the Malacca Strait on January 28, 1977 and rendezvoused with Tautog entering the Indian Ocean, described as the first time an all-nuclear-powered task force had operated in those waters. A few weeks later they were anchored together at Mombasa, Kenya, and days after that, Idi Amin's Uganda hostage crisis blew up and the whole group, Tautog included, held station off Kenya for over a week as a scratch rescue force. That initial rendezvous, an attack boat breaking off to go link up with a carrier group, lines up with how my dad told it a lot better than the 69 theory did. I want to be upfront that I can't find anything confirming the specifics, not the scrubbed mission, not the nobody's sleeping line, not the periscope prank itself. That's all just how my dad told it, and none of it is the kind of thing that would show up in an official command history anyway. So take this as I'm fairly confident which deployment this was, not I've proven the story happened exactly like this. Posting partly just to get it out there, partly hoping someone here has more on Tautog's early 77 Indian Ocean/Kenya stretch, or has heard some version of this story secondhand from another old boat. Happy to be corrected on any of it. I'm working from a few hours of Wikipedia/DANFS reading, not primary sources. I'm also up in the middle of the night because I'm a new father and this is just living rent-free in my head and I'm kind of sleep deprived, so I hope you enjoy.